welcome to the Manifest to Live Life Golden podcast and YouTube show. I'm Golden Duffy, your host, and I have a very special guest today, Mr. Michael Duffy. Welcome, Michael Duffy.
Hello, everybody.
Super excited to have you here. We've been talking about this for a while.
Have we?
I mean, I have.
Okay.
I've been teasing the audience for months.
All right.
And I'm going to translate out. It's just, getting our schedules to match up and things to work and technology and all that good stuff. It took us a minute or two to get here. So welcome.
Thanks.
Today we're talking about prosperity. I had shared in the last episode about the prosperity pie, and that's all the different aspects of your life and dialing in to create prosperity, to create happiness, to create joy. And Michael Duffy here, I think, is a good person to talk to about this because I feel like you work on this. And even if you don't show it, you're always doing things to create more prosperity in your life and not getting caught up in the lack and the chaos that goes along with running a company the way you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to kind of start out because I haven't really been on the show since we took our vacation, which was
amazing.
We actually took our family to St. Croix. So St. Croix is part of the U.S. Virgin Islands. And 2 years ago, we decided that we weren't going to do Christmas presents anymore, that we were just going to take our family on a vacation, which doesn't really save money.
No, it wasn't about the money, though. It was about the fact that buying Christmas presents for people when you're all when you're all adults and you don't really need anything is kind of silly, and you spend money on things and just to buy things.
Yeah.
So we decided, you know what? Let's do something different. And I think it's been successful in the fact that we've created a lot of memories.
A lot of memories.
Not just for us, but also for our loved ones, our children and their spouses. And yeah, it's been great.
It was a trip that, last year was so fun. And then to have this year be different, but also fun.
It was funner.
It was funner. And you're even dealing with an injury right now. So can you talk a little bit about your injury?
I have a broken wing.
Yes, a broken wing.
No, my shoulder's messed up from doing construction my whole life and abusing my body. So it's like time to go back to the factory and get a tune-up.
So tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., we would love all of your prayers. Michael's going in for rotator cuff surgery for a complete tear.
Two of them. Two complete tears, because I don't mess around.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling about all that?
Feeling like...
You want to be honest?
I want it to be over with.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from the future, looking back.
Oh, that's really good advice.
Which I try to do with a lot of things in my life. So looking forward to the results that I want, and then putting myself in that place, looking back at today and the time between today and that day.
That's a really good way to interrupt the programming of dread, because we always dread things that are coming up. And you've been dealing with this injury for a month and a half.
2 months.
2 months. So you've been in a lot of pain. So I think the surgery is going to offer some relief. But that's a good idea to do with anything that you're thinking about upcoming that you might have some anxiety about or be nervous about, or, project something that's not wanted. A good idea is just to see it as if it's already done and kind of bring yourself into the alignment and frequency of that.
Yeah. What would it feel like being in that place and then try to stay there?
Yeah. I think about you I think about the doctor saying that you healed so fast that he's never seen anybody heal that fast. It was like a miraculous recovery, and that he went in there and it wasn't as bad as he thought. So I'm playing all these stories in my head. And I think, it's really powerful when two people do that together as well.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, I want to talk about prosperity. So I think a good way, actually a segue into that, I do want to share, we are doing an abundance code activation in our M21 Revolution group on Facebook, which you can join. I'll put the link in the show notes. It started today, which is February 1st, but we're going to have the entire activation, the 21 days inside of M21. So if you want to join, it's donation based. The group is free. You can come in at any time and start that abundance code activation. And it's awesome because it's a meditation plus an activity that you do every day. And we have been really practicing gratitude and the magic of gratitude. Like when you are grateful, you take your eyes off of your problems, you take your eyes off of the lack, and you notice what is good. You set yourself up for so much more. And we have kind of been in this feeling of like, it just gets good, and then it gets gooder, and then it gets better, and then it gets greater. And it's just, people think that this is like, gratitude seems so cliche, just to be grateful, but it is so powerful. I think it's the most powerful thing we can do. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, gratitude and appreciation for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's interesting how the word gratitude, you break it down as great attitude.
I think we just realized that like yesterday.
Yeah, just have a great attitude.
I can't believe I've never realized that before.
If you're living in gratitude, you can't help but have a great attitude. It's just,
that's very true,
a byproduct of having gratitude.
Yep, that's very true. And it is something that you have to focus on. It's something that you have to kind of intend for yourself, because the mechanism of your mind is to work on problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when like stuff happens and chaos and challenges and all that, it's really easy to get sucked into that.
Because they will happen.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, they're going to be there. It's all how you approach it and think about it and how you feel about it.
Respond to it, right?
Right.
So a lot of what we talk about is meditation. And I know you do meditate. I know that you're somebody who, during the day when there's a lot of chaos and you have a lot of to-dos on your list, you will take the time to sit down and close your eyes and, intend for that space.
Mm.
How hard, how challenging is that to do in the face of all the things that you have to do and feeling like you may not have enough time to say, I am going to take the time to do this because it's really important?
I mean, yeah, it's challenging because, like you said, your mind tells you you don't have time to do that because you have so many things to do. But I mean, the reality is that if you just take 15 minutes, which isn't really that much time, it actually makes you more productive and it kind of refreshes your brain. And, most people are could easily waste 15 minutes doing
Scrolling.
nonsense. So just to be intentional and say, all right, I'm going to turn my phone on silent because the text messages and the other notifications will still come through and distract you. So put your phone on silent and either do a silent meditation or a guided meditation, but just to sit there for 15 minutes and really, try not to focus on those things that are on your to-do list. So it takes a few minutes, to sit there and settle down and really focus on letting all that go and all that. But it's definitely helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that you kind of come out of that feeling different. Your frequency is in a different place, and then you're able to focus on, what's important, because we can get so bogged down by the minutia and like the constant call for our attention, I guess it is, that I think that works really well. And I think that it tunes you into more of an abundant attitude and more in prosperity, because you're not in those lower fields of lack and, lack of time or lack of money or, lack of resources.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about money a little bit, because when we talk about prosperity, I think that's probably like the one thing that people really think, like, people I know in this world think that abundance equals money, or that prosperity equals money. And that if they just had all the money, that all their problems would go away. And one of the most interesting shows I think I've watched in accordance with that is How the Lottery Changed My Life. And how almost every single one of those stories, the lottery changed people's life in a really terrible way. Like, people had...
Right. They just weren't ready for it.
Right. They weren't ready for it. They didn't know how to manage it. Most of them made really bad decisions with it because so it's so interesting that people will win the lottery. So they were in alignment at one point, right?
Somehow.
But then they don't manage it correctly or get the right advice or the
Mm-hmm.
right guidance. And then
Right.
they either end up broker than they were before,
You're on a roll with these words today.
broker than they were before, or, just circumstances, like one bad thing after another happens because they.
So yeah, people do equate money with abundance, but there's a lot of different ways to be abundant. So what was your point about bringing up money? I'm trying to get off of the lottery thing.
Yeah. Abundance is having what you need to have when you need to have it. I've heard that definition before.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily, and it's a frequency. It's not like a material thing. It's a frequency. It's a feeling. It's being aligned with all the goodness in your life, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, what else did I want to address as far as abundance goes? So, what are some of the ways that you put yourself in the field of abundance? Like, how do you feel more abundant when things are not looking as abundant as you'd like them to be?
I mean, I put it into perspective and just say, I'm doing pretty good. Think back to a time in your own life where maybe you weren't doing so great or things were really bad. And then look at where you are now and think, you know what? I'm doing much better than I was doing. So, just kind of gently reminding yourself that it's not so bad, because when we have issues around money, for example, it's usually because of the lack of it.
Yeah.
Which causes all kinds of stress and anxiety around paying the bills, and the rent's going to be late, or the mortgage payment, or the credit cards, or whatever it is. So just to kind of stop that and start to turn it around, definitely putting things into perspective will help. And then from there, you can keep going with, where do you live? There's places around where you live that are really amazing and beautiful, and just to remind yourself that you are surrounded by beautiful things, and you do have a pretty great life, and there's a lot of people out there that are doing way worse than we are. Just to soften it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it is a reminder because it's really easy to forget. I think it's easy to forget that we're powerful. I think it's easy to forget that we do have all these great things. I had a little shift this morning because I did my abundance homework for our 21-day abundance code activation. And the very first thing that I noticed that was abundant were the clean dishes on our counter. And this has been a little bit of a contention for me because our kids don't like to use the dishwasher. So they wash everything and then they leave it on the counter to dry. So we always have dishes on the counter. And that's something that it bugs me. I want people to dry their dishes and put them away. And this morning I just felt grateful that there were clean dishes on our counter. And that was a shift.
Yeah, at least they weren't dirty dishes on our counter.
Exactly. So that was a great shift for me, and something that, if you've got these little annoyances, if you can find something to be grateful about it, you will shift it.
Right, because I think all the good things are out there and they want to come to us.
Yes.
But when we do all that other stuff where we're things, stressed about the dishes on the counter, or about the money that we don't have, or whatever, the health that we don't have, whatever it is, it keeps those things away. One of the things I've always noticed, and maybe you all have noticed this, and you've probably noticed it, that if you kind of just forget about something and just kind of let it be, it works itself out. Like something comes along, or a few times when I've been on vacation, or a long weekend away for your birthday or for my birthday or whatever, some project will come in that I've been working really hard on. Now, I've done the work before, and you do all the things that you have to do, but then if you stress about it and focus on it, and what if I don't get it, and what if this doesn't happen, and what if that, it just blocks it. So by, literally letting go of it, it tends to come to you quicker.
That is so true. And we actually had an experience in St. Croix as we were sitting in a coffee shop, just enjoying the morning with a couple of our family members and having a good time, you got some really great news that,
Yeah, no, and it's happened a few times. You know, I
yeah,
can think of a few different times where that exact same thing happened, and I think because it happened already, you know, the more things happen for you like that, you remember. Oh yeah, well that's of course that's going to happen. So like before we went away, I knew that was going to happen. I
you
just,
did.
but you still think about it and worry a little bit about it, and but then you have to tell yourself there's nothing else I can do. So I've done everything I can. I'm gonna let it go, and
And then it came.
and then it came.
And that was a really happy moment. Like tears were
Yeah,
shed.
it was relief. Just like even though and you think positive, you're like yes, I'm gonna get it. It's gonna happen. When it does, it's still such a great feeling because it's been you validated the whole process uh,
You did your best. You tried your hardest.
and
Like
it just affirms that um, you know are doing the right thing. I think.
and you're aligned with abundance for sure. I had an interesting thing happen when we were away. We decided to, well, we didn't decide to do this. Our daughter brought a 1,000-piece puzzle. You can go and look on my Facebook page for the picture of it. It was a
I mean,
challenge,
most of those jigsaw puzzles are a challenge. It's like a picture of a big tree with
all sorts of
every
colors.
color in it,
And we all looked at it and we were like, and of course we're in this beautiful tropical place and who wants to sit inside and do a puzzle? And we couldn't bring it outside because it was too windy.
And it rained a little bit here and there, so yeah.
Yeah. So my daughter, our youngest daughter made the decision that she was going to.
Well, one night because when you're doing a puzzle, you can get obsessed.
She got obsessed.
So I think if you've done a jigsaw puzzle, you know what I'm saying. So she got obsessed after everybody else went to bed. And she was up until 1:30, I think, in the morning, doing this puzzle. But she finished like a whole quadrant, like one whole quarter of it basically got filled in. We had started with the perimeter all together, everybody, right? That's kind of the easy part. At least you got a straight side. And then it was like, okay. At one point, I was like, I don't know if I said it out loud, but I definitely thought, there's no way we're finishing this puzzle. I'm like, there's no way.
I think everyone had that thought.
But
Everyone
then
was
she got obsessed for those few hours, and then the next morning when I woke up, I remember seeing it going, okay,
yeah,
you
we
know
all
what?
got inspired.
I think there might be a shot here because we still had some time. We still had 3 or 4 or 5 days left.
Yeah.
So then every time you walk by it,
and 8 people. We had 8 people.
Right.
So, but it was interesting. I was with her and there were times when I would sit down to that puzzle and I wouldn't find a piece for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I would just get up and walk away. And when I started to actually get into it and find pieces, I would get this feeling right before I would find a piece. And I would kind of make that decision like, okay, I'm finding a piece. This is it. Like enough time.
Why didn't you do that sooner?
Right? Because I just figured it out. And I feel like this has a lot to do with things manifesting in our life. And I've had that feeling recently where I'm like, oh, that parking spot is going to be there. And I just make that decision. Or, we were running a little bit late for church this morning and we weren't late. We were right on time.
No, we weren't.
However, we walked in, it was like 3 minutes before church started. And so on the way there's a lot of traffic. We got stuck in some beach traffic.
It's Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
Beautiful day. It's January. No, it's February, but it feels like summer. So
yeah. So as we're driving through, I'm thinking there's going to be the perfect spot. Like everything is working out for us and just really interrupted that normal like anxiety. Cause I do get anxiety about parking in the past. And I do have anxiety about getting a seat in the past as well. Cause I like to sit in a certain place. And now with that puzzle piece, I have a reference to what that feeling is. Like I'm about to do something. And we actually started watching the show last night and it makes me think of this show. It's called The Big Door Prize. And it's about these people who, this machine suddenly shows up in their town, right?
Yeah.
And the machine pops out what your greatest potential is, right?
Yep.
This is on Apple. This is a super interesting
We've only watched 2 episodes, so we really don't know what the show is about
but I'm
yet.
kind of like, I like the idea of it and I like the energy of it. So the woman last night pulls the card royalty. And then all of a sudden she's surrounded by purple. We noticed that, right?
Well, purple
is the color
represents
of
royalty.
So just the way she starts carrying herself and the way she starts feeling, you can start to see her life changing. And it's kind of like the puzzle piece reference. It's like once you get, and here it is, this machine just spitting things out. But it's interesting how people will start to believe something that came out of a machine on a card. Now, of course, this is a TV show, but it's like when you were younger and your teacher said to you, I actually have a report card of this. My teacher saying, I can see you becoming a great author someday. And I've written 4 books. And so when I went back to that report card, it was like a little seed was planted and a manifestation occurred.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, where are you getting your seeds planted from that is going to help you align to your next amazing, incredible experience? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just in the last year, what we've done with our MDC construction company and the beliefs and the way that we're looking at this from a bigger perspective has changed a lot of things.
Yeah, sure has.
Would you agree?
I sure has, yeah.
It's changed our team. It's changed the way you run your business. It's changed. We have offices now. It's just the belief system of just other people telling us like what the potential is for our company has radically changed the way we feel about where our life is headed and how you feel about even just running your company, even though there's still days where it's challenging. And
well, that's the thing. There's always going to be days. You're always going to have the thoughts. You're always going to have all the things. But you have to have these tools because it's not like you turn on a switch and all your problems go away.
No,
that's not life. That's not why we're here.
No,
we're here to experience the contrast so that we can get better and expand as individuals, but also as a collective. So, you almost have to be grateful for the problems, because if you didn't, like, if everything was good all the time, I think we'd be bored, honestly. Yeah. I think for a little while we'd be like, yeah, this is fucking great. Like, this is sweet. Like, there's no problems. Everything's perfect. But then after a while, you probably, you need some challenge in your life to feel the purpose and be useful and all that. So,
and now I have to put explicits on the podcast.
Why? Because I said fuck.
Now it's not good for kids.
Sorry, kids.
Even though our kids are like the worst, they have the worst mouths in the world. I wanted to touch on that, what you were just saying about, what were you just saying?
I don't know. But I was just thinking that we said we wanted to keep it to 30 minutes.
Yeah, so we're doing good. We're at 23 minutes.
I know.
All right.
That's right.
I was going to make a point and now it's gone.
Gone. That's been happening more lately with both of us, by the way.
It comes back though.
It does, but yeah. I recently said to you several times, what was I saying? Happening.
Oh Lord. Nothing is happening. There's a lot going on. That's all there is.
Yeah, a lot of thoughts. A lot of things.
But seriously, what were you just talking about?
When
you swore. You swore. You said a swear.
I don't know. Anybody? You want to call?
Anybody? Can you call in and tell us what we were
Tell me what we were talking about. Well, anyway, yeah, you got problems, you got solutions. We try to be solution oriented, but I guess to be solution oriented, that means you have to have a problem to create the solution.
Okay, great. Thank you for saying that.
You're
That's
welcome.
what I was thinking.
That's what I was doing. I was just keeping it going.
That's very helpful. You do that for me a lot. So in our abundance code activation, somebody had asked the question of, don't you want to be super specific with the abundance that you want to bring in? Because if you're not, then you can have an abundance of problems, right? And what I described, and I wanted to kind of dive into this a little bit, and I will in our M21 video with Jess as well, is that this is like when you get yourself into these higher levels of thinking, the higher mind and the higher states of living, where you're not in this low, dense survival mode, victim stuff. You start to look at problems more as challenges, opportunities. You look at them as like, oh, this is a way for me to clear this, to get clarity on this, to heal this trigger inside of me that, I've been living in this fear for a long time. We have a client recently, and she was saying that she didn't care for the demo guy or something because he said to her, you have a perfectly good house. Why are you doing a remodel? And she got offended by that. And I said, well, maybe it was leading you to the clarity to be very determined about doing this remodel and that you deserve it. And she really liked that because people are going to reflect what we're feeling inside. So if we have a little bit of like, indecision, or we're feeling a little bit of fear, people are going to reflect that. But that is an opportunity for us to get really clear on what we want.
Correct.
Yeah. So that was really cool. All right. Well, we have 4 minutes left because you're going to keep me to this 30-minute thing, which I think is great. I can ramble. Everyone knows I ramble for about an hour.
Yeah, no one likes rambling.
No, I don't ramble for an hour. I have very useful information.
Oh, I know.
Actually, my podcast is one of the longest listened to podcasts on Spotify. That's not a brag. That's a fact.
Okay.
But we can keep it short. I'm fine with that. So, anything else you want to share about abundance, prosperity, tuning into all the good things that life has to offer?
Well, I think we covered it. I think I would just add one little thing to what you were just saying is when you're thinking about a problem or something happens, and then you're looking for solutions right away versus being the victim and everything. Like one example that I had recently, and it still hasn't revealed itself to me exactly, but when I hurt my shoulder, I thought there's going to be a blessing in this. And I thought that pretty quickly after the initial pain subsided, but I was like, okay, well, something good's going to come out of this, because something good always comes out of everything. I mean, there's other things maybe that aren't so good too, but when you look back, there's always things that happen because of other things that happened, and then you met this person, and that happened because of that. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
it'd be so it gives you a different perspective instead of just going,
when these things happen,
this sucks. Why does this always happen to me? Blah blah blah.
True.
Some people do that, and that's victimhood. Like
100%.
Like shit happens. Like, oh, there's another one. You got to put the thing on there. It happens in life. Like things happen. So,
well, and
why avoid it? It's like there's no way to avoid shit happening. So it's how you feel about it, how you look at it, how you think about it. Is there going to be a blessing coming from it? What's the opportunity here?
Do you want to turn it in your favor, or do you want to keep going down the road of like bad things happening?
Because it could go either way.
Yeah.
I mean, if you focus on the pain of the situation and all of the negative things that are going to happen because of it, then that's probably what you're going to manifest. But if you focus on, what is the blessing going to be? And I'm sure there's a reason that this happened. And, everything always works out. Things, always work. I mean, look at your own life. I mean, here you are today. So you're here. You're doing great.
My favorite saying is, I can't wait to see what manifests from this. And I will say, as far as your shoulder goes, there was an alignment of things that happened where things are like really working out for you. Timing, an amazing doctor that 2 people in our life from different places recommended this doctor, had surgery from this doctor, and he's probably one of the top shoulder surgeons in this area. We both really love him, and he's super smart. And then, from scheduling it to the hospital, to the health insurance, to all of those things lining up and working out, to even forgetting about the blood test and still being able to get your blood work done and in on Friday when you have surgery on Monday.
Yeah.
So many things aligned.
It's all working out.
Yeah. And, still going on vacation, we very, very easily could have canceled our vacation because you got there and you were kind of like, okay, what do I do now? I can't swim. I can't snorkel.
Well, I could have got the surgery earlier also.
Right.
But I was like, no way. We got to do this thing with our family, and I'll deal with it. And it wasn't too bad. I just couldn't do stuff. I couldn't swim or kayak.
Which was kind of interesting because you were reading the book, Slowing Down to the Speed of Joy.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much in alignment with that. idea of doing nothing, which you are not really a super fan of.
I think most people are challenged with
Yeah.
actually doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
sometimes you feel like you're doing nothing, but you are, you're always doing something, but, not focused on that to-do list and all the thoughts that come along with it.
Yeah. And I think it led way to us spending really quality time with the girls and their significant others and, doing an exercise class and just being silly and
we had a good time.
having, fires and the talks and just it was super quality time, I felt like. And, we busied ourselves in our own ways.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think this is a good show. We got 31 minutes. We're a little over, but I think we did good. Thanks for keeping me on track. I hope you come back. I think this was fun. And I think we could talk about, we've got this prosperity pie that's like 8 different areas of your life. And today was just the beginning introduction to that. But we're going to dive a little deeper into relationships and health and career and,
you got your spirituality, your fitness, your finances, your all the other things that you just talked about, and then how to maybe address each one of those, but also how they tie together to create a really great life.
Yeah, really great. I mean, people think, I can't have my cake and eat it too.
Yeah,
everything can't always be perfect. Or when things are going really good, people often think like, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop, which is a silly phrase that I don't even really understand.
So yeah, learning how to integrate all the different areas of your life, because maybe they're not all going the way you want them to. So we'll talk about focusing on the ones that are going well, and believe it or not, that's actually going to help the areas that aren't going so well. So stuff like that.
And often it's a little millimeter shift in each area and the way you're thinking about it to create something new and fantastic.
Yes. Cool. And next time, hopefully I'll have a
you will. Better shoulder. You'll be in your sling. Oh, you know what? That ensures that you will be on the show because you can't run away from me.
And when I do this, it won't hurt.
Exactly. So prayers are appreciated. Oh. All right. We love you all. Peace out.